In this example, we're given some information about an ellipse, and we need to write an equation in standard form. So we're told that the center is at the origin. It has a focus at 3, 0, and its vertex at 5, 0. So just remember that when it's talking about the vertex, it's talking about the vertex that lies on the major axis. This is not a minor axis vertex. So if we wanted to figure out what kind of ellipse this is, one with a horizontal major axis or a vertical major axis, we should probably just plot these points to get a sense. Because remember, all three of these points will lie on the major axis. So if I plot the point 0, 0, the point 3, 0 is going to be to the right of that, and then 5, 0 to the right of that. So this was our center, this is our focus, and this is our vertex. So because these points lie horizontally, that tells us that we have a horizontal major axis. So the major axis is going to be parallel to the x-axis if it's not x-axis itself. So because we know that its major axis is along the x-axis, that means that the value of a is going to be in the denominator of our quantity of x being squared. So x minus h quantity squared divided by a squared equals, or it's not equals, plus, sorry, y minus k quantity squared divided by b squared equals 1. So we know that a is always bigger than b, so that means the larger value is going to lie underneath our x values being squared. So let's go ahead and figure out what we know and what we need to find in order to write our equation. So we know that the distance from the center to the vertex, that value we call a. So the distance from the center to the vertex is 5 units, because this is 0, 0 to 5, 0. So the value of a is 5. The value of b is the distance from the center to our minor axis vertex, but we don't have any information about that yet, so we're going to have to find that. And then the distance from the center to our focus, that value is c, and we know that that distance is 3, because we're going from 0, 0 to 3, 0. We need to find b. Now we know that the relationship between a, b, and c is as such, so a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared. And we need to find b, so let's isolate b squared. So subtract c squared. And so we have that a squared minus c squared is going to equal b squared. So substitute in what we know. So we know that a is 5. So 5 squared minus 3 squared, which is going to equal b squared. So that's 25 minus 9 equals b squared, which means that b squared is equal to 16. So the value of b is going to be 4. The center of our ellipse, remember, is just h, k, and we know that it's 0, 0. So we can start substituting some information into this equation here. So we know that h is 0 here. We know that k is also 0. We know that the value of a is 5. Value of a is 5. And we know that the value of b is 4. And now we can just simplify this, and that will be our equation for this ellipse. So x minus 0, that's just x. So we have x squared divided by 5 squared is 25. Y minus 0, that's just y. So it's plus y squared. Divided by 4 squared, that's 16, equals 1. So this is the equation of our ellipse in standard form that has a center at the origin, foci at 3, 0 and negative 3, 0, vertices at 5, 0 and negative 5, 0. And then value of a is 5, value of b is 4, and we did all of that work to figure that out.